Hi, my name is Zsalondi. Welcome to my channel. If you don't know who I am, I already said my name, so you know that already. I have a faith-based vlog. I talk about my faith, I talk about my dog, my life, and just my thoughts. And so I just talk about a various range of topics, really. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about why I could never be a part of the world and why neither should you. So you can probably look at me and not think that I ever was a promoter of like lounges and clubs, but I was briefly for a few months. I can't remember exactly how long I did it, but it all started from me wanting to network with people. So I had saw this, I think it was a meetup, and so I went to this networking event. And when I met a lot of cool people there. And then when I met the promoter, I told him, I always wanted to be a promoter. I would love to do stuff like this. And I had a really good experience the first time, the first event that I went to. So I don't think I started to promote right away. I think I went maybe to like another event, and then he needed not help because he did a good job on his own, but he had a few of us that we would help him promote these events. So he asked me one day if I wanted to promote, and I think I definitely said yes because I had to start somewhere. So yeah, I started promoting, and it was fun at the beginning because um, I always, like, when I was in college, I never really was a part of like the party scene or the nightlife. And I was also really into like events and throwing parties. I always say, if you want to get over anxiety, shyness, throw a party or something, but throw a party at your house or like an event or something. So yeah, so I never was really a part of the nightlife. The most I had done was maybe I definitely went to a club once or twice. Yeah, I definitely went to a club at least 2 times in New York City. Very interesting. I went to Webster Hall, which I believe is now closed. And if you also from New York City, then you must know of Pacha. So I went there, and and had a decent time. There was some, I don't know, when you go to a club, you really just see some nonsense sometimes. So there was more of that. I was at Pacha, and then at Webster Hall, just there's different floors for different things, and it gets a little crazy. So yeah, I did go to clubs, but I wasn't. That was like not my thing. So I felt like I didn't really get that experience of you know being part of that party scene, like going out all the time. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity, for me to, meet people, and then also, make some money on the side and just get a taste of like, promoting or like helping to, I guess, manage events. So fast forward, um, it gets really old really fast. Okay, especially as a promoter, you're not really enjoying the party, but you have to make sure you get enough people in. So anyway, once you get like kind of like a roster of people, then you get to enjoy the parties a little bit more. And um, yeah, it just got old really, really fast. You start seeing the same people over and over again doing the same thing every time you guys, every time you see this group of people. They were all very, very interesting, but it just starts to become predictable. And then these people that are coming out, they're really for entertainment. They're really to entertain people. They're coming out to have fun and drink, but we were mostly getting very artistic people to come in, very creative people. A lot of these people were in theater, dance. They were actors, they were singers, they were musicians, they were like producers, like all kinds of people from like all walks of life, doing whatever. I met some amazing people there, but eventually I can feel like once you get to know people and you see them, and then you see the kind of environment you're in, you get to understand that there's something deeper um, happening like on the inside of these people. You start to see a lot of loneliness, and honestly, on the surface, because I wasn't saved yet at this time. I wasn't saved yet. I was praying more, but I wasn't saved yet. So I started to really feel convicted, because the people that I was bringing, the people that we were bringing in, they were like on the younger side, early 20s, mid 20s, and by this time I was like 28 maybe. So I start to feel bad that that these people were coming in, they were getting drunk, they were leaving, sometimes leaving with random people. And I didn't see that often, but it did happen. Most of the time it was fun, but at certain times, certain people would come in and I would just know, like, this person maybe needs more loving. And so I started to pray for some people, some particular people that would come to the events. I would pray for them because I just felt like that they needed that kind of prayer. And then on my end, I was feeling convicted because I was like, this is not right. There's like, when you're a promoter, you have the table with the bottles, and you have people drinking, and bottles are just emptying so fast. Some people, really want to take advantage of the table, and they want to, try to get as much alcohol as they want. And I just felt like, I was leading the sheep to the slaughter. Like, I felt really bad, and I didn't like how I was feeling. And yeah, I was just seeing crazy stuff, like girls that were like straight, they were like making out once they had enough drinks just to impress some guys. And I was just like, this is not good, this is crazy. And like I said, a lot of loneliness. And I had done it enough time, and I didn't promote that much. I'm sure I promoted less than 10 times less than 10. But for me, it got old real fast. You go to these clubs, and everyone just looks so thirsty, like very thirsty. It was like, you got some wolves on this end, you got some sheep on this end, and then just the crazy entertainers in the middle of the dance floor, and it was just so much going on. And I attracted like a lot of people. A lot of people would talk to me because I wasn't at a certain point when I first started promoting. Maybe I would drink. I was drinking. I would probably drink 2-3 glasses, and then of cocktails, and then eventually I would go and I would not drink. I was just sober, and I was just watching the madness. So when you're sober and you're watching all these people be drunk, it's a sobering moment. You go, wow, this is just crazy, this is ratchet. And when you're drinking and you're mingling with everyone else, everyone else who's drinking, everything is fun, everything is exciting, and it is entertaining, it is fun, it is amusing. But when you're sober and you're watching all this happens, you're like, this is insanity, this is not good. There's people like twerking on couches, they're like all this stuff going on. And then we were at some very nice venues. So our group, like I said, we were a mixture of a lot of creative people, a lot of creatives, a lot of artists, okay, very talented people. A lot of, I would say, some maybe like influencers, some upcoming influencers. And we were just the entertainment table. Like, I wasn't, because I honestly, I was like the big sister. I was not doing a very good job. I mean, meaning like I shouldn't have. I wish that these younger people were doing other things, but whatever. It's a Saturday night. This is the stuff that we do, nowadays in this generation. So I really felt like I was a big sister. So I was kind of like, watching over everyone, trying to make sure everyone was safe and comfortable. Like I said, it wasn't a bad group, and don't get me wrong, like our table, there wasn't a lot of like bad things. Like, there was no like drugs or anything like that. It was really just, it was honestly like everyone was on their like best behavior. There wasn't any like crazy like shenanigans going on like that. So it wasn't like dark stuff going on, but I just felt like, these kids are lonely. They can be doing something different. And so, I just want to say, I was watching from the outside. I was trying to be a part of this, scene, and it just wasn't me. At the end of the day, it just wasn't me. I was just really looking at these young entertainers, these artists, as like babies, and I was just like, this is not good. I don't really like how they're behaving. Like, it's not. Some of them, not all of them, a lot of them very classy. They just want to go out and have fun. And then you had some that were just crazy, dancing on couches. We had to kind of calm them down sometime. And I don't know, it just wasn't my scene after a while. And I was just really, I became the outsider looking in. Like, I was very close to all of the people that were there, that were there. Like I said, I meet people very easily, very quickly. Usually I can remember names, so when people come through, I was happy to see them. But then at the same time, just like, I don't know. And also, we were really promoting it as networking. And then some people would come, and they would be like, "This doesn't really feel like this is a networking event. This is just like a whole bunch of young, kids partying." So that was that. So that was me trying to, dabble and be a part of that world. But when you're in it, like I said, it gets old real fast unless you're like partying and you're partaking. And then even when I was like having a glass here and there, I was just like, this is not fun. Like, this is not fun. And I was just, after a while, you look around at everyone is sad. Like, no one's really dancing except for the artists. So I think that's what we brought to the table. So maybe, our group probably we weren't as sad as like the other people that would come, or the regular, patrons that would just come in and just like stand on the wall. Like, this was a group of like dancers and singers and stuff. So it was fun. Do not get me wrong. It was fun, and they're great people. But just being a part of the scene and just seeing even everyone else outside of our group, it was not it. It was, the night scene was not all it was cracked up to be. It's just a whole bunch of people out and just getting wasted. And you got some people throwing up on one side. There's a lot of touching going on. It really depends on the venue, so that's for sure. The darker the venue, the more you'll see like there's crazy stuff. But yeah. So my advice, I can't tell anyone what to do, but I would definitely say, just from my experience, try to go, if you're gonna go to these places, try to do it one night sober and really look around at these people and see if these are the people that you really want to be around. Do you want to be that one night stand, or do you want to be that that girl who's all drunked up, she's lit or whatever, and she's being felt up on, or you want to get your stuff stolen. Like, all of this stuff will happen there. You'll lose your phone in a cab. Like, this is just stuff that I've seen happen. And do you want to really be a part of that life? Like, I remember one time I went to the bathroom, and they were, people know what's going on. If you've been to a club or a party, stuff goes on in the bathroom, and just drugs and this and that. And do you really want to be a part of that at the end of the day? It's not making your life any better. You're not really making friends. Like, how is going out and partying with strangers going to make your life any better than it was today, or yesterday, or 5 years ago, or a year ago, or 6 months ago? It's not. It's definitely not. I mean, what I got out of it, and I'm very conservative. I'm very reserved anyway. So, and have a lot of self-control. So for me, I can be in certain places and situations, and nothing will happen to me. I will be very safe. I look out for myself. I'm not gonna get drunk, and I never do drugs. So that's that. And so when I was there, I was just like, this is just a recipe for disaster. And yeah, so you just have to really think. Yeah, so my point was, like, when I was there, how it helped me, I got to see that I wasn't missing out on anything. I wasn't missing out on nothing. I wasn't missing out on the alcohol. I wasn't missing out on the dancing and the people and the fun. You all really only need to do it once. I am not saying, I'm saying dancing. I'm not saying drinking or anything like that. You only need to like be in this environment once sober, and just you can get a pretty idea of what you're gonna experience every time you go out to one of these places. And that's my 2 cents on it. I mean, I can go even further with, never being a part of the world, like keeping up with the fashion trends and having to have my face baked or needing to go outside without makeup. Of course, like I want to go outside and be presentable. So, I don't want to go outside looking, just frumpy or whatever. Even for, a few minutes, I may have to think about like, do I really want to run out the house really quick for like 5 minutes looking any kind of way? But, I never felt like the need to, have other people like affirm me by like what I dress or my hair or my makeup or anything like that. And yeah, that's just me. I grew up that way. Like my mother, she's very, very beautiful. She's a natural beauty, and she never even wore makeup. So, maybe that could be part of it. We just very fresh. My mom has a very fresh face, and so all of her kids, we all kind of like that fresh, natural look, that natural beauty. And of course, it's good to take care of yourself and definitely go the extra mile, because that's that self-care, that self-love, 100% definitely. But when you feel like you can't go outside without the eyelashes, or you don't want to do this or that because your wig is not right, that's not good either, because that's really just showing that you don't like yourself. And now maybe I'll get some some clapbacks or whatever, but if it's such a necessity where you can't function and you can't go out and you can't do things because certain things are not, they're not at a worldly standard, like your eyelashes, your hair, your nails, all of these things, that's not good. And I really, honestly, I don't understand how people get so caught up in like getting their nails done and they can't do this, or they can't do this and they can't do that, but they'll go outside with like one of their tips missing, and then they'll have like 4 fingers with tips. Like, so I'm just confused. It's just really for show, and it's for looks, and not because like you really like want to maintain yourself. That's just my opinion. Don't get me wrong. I go outside if whenever I did my nails, they would start to like chip, and maybe it would take me a while to get them taken care of. But I'm not pretending that I'm someone that I'm not. So that's basically what I'm trying to get at here. And that is it. I felt like I was rambling at the end, but it's all good. Why you shouldn't be a part of the world? Because there's nothing cool about wanting to be a part of the world. Like, definitely it's good to get inspiration from the world, because that's how you can pick things apart, and you can make certain things a part of, like, your character, your personality, or your wardrobe, or whatever, how you express yourself. Yeah, you can definitely take inspiration from the world. But when you're so like hell bent on mimicking someone else and mirroring someone else's personality or how they look, then you're losing yourself. Slowly you're losing yourself. And to me, that is a form of like a weakness and not a strength, because now you're losing your identity. Now you're how do you know what you like if you're trying to be like someone else to get a particular reaction? You're losing yourself in that way, and that's just my opinion. And that's it. So definitely get inspiration from the world. I do all the time. Like, I have my Pinterest board of things that inspire me, like interior stuff, or like outfits that I will want to try, even hairstyles. So it's okay. But when you cannot function, like I said, when you're trying to be something that you're not, that's not good. You have to love yourself. You have to practice self-love. And that's something that I'm still practicing in my kind of way, like by drinking more water, because for some reason, I don't know why, being water, it's not even that I don't like water, it's just so hard for me to remember to drink water. So I'm trying to be better at that, and we can all be better. We can all be better versions of ourselves. So I'm not getting on anyone. I just know that when you're living that way, you can't keep that up. That's not something that you can maintain and be happy, or you can seem happy, but then you'll be lashing out at other people, and no one's gonna understand where this attitude is coming from that you have. And it's because you're always stressed because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, or you're trying to keep up with the Kardashians, you know. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about not being in the world. And I hope that those thoughts came across in the right way. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you. Bye. And subscribe, please. Thank you.